Welcome to another episode of Is This for Kids? I am Jonathan Beard of Blevins, father of 4, and I think that I have some of the best parenting hacks of all time.
Oh, wow. I am Katie, MrsRuvi. I am a mother of 5, and my kids are much older than him, and so I have parenting hacked way more things than you have. And that's why we're going to start off the new year right with some parenting hacks.
A little bit of some new content for you, some different content from Is This for Kids, but staying in our awesome lane of doing our best at being the best parents we can possibly be.
Best parents ever. And today we are going to be talking about, not terribly out of our lane, but 5 parenting hacks for managing screen time effectively.
Let's go. Her kids spend way too much time in front of a screen, so I can't wait to see how she does this. Just kidding.
True. I'm going to have Maggie call you.
I said just kidding.
My daughter will roast him.
I said just kidding.
She'll be so mad. All right, so this is like a perennial issue, right? Where parents are like, how much screen time? We're all lying to our pediatricians. Yep. They're like, how much screen time? Because you're getting it 30 minutes, doctor, for sure, 100%, right?
Except for when I need to cook and eat snacks and take a nap.
Yeah, exactly. So this is one of those things that we're all kind of feeling guilty about. And I think that there's just some really basic things that we can be doing to make it better, right?
Let's hear them.
All right, number 1, create a schedule. And by this, I don't mean you can watch TV from 5 to 10 or whatever. I mean, if you want to be that intense about it, sure. But it can be as basic as we don't play video games on school days. Like, we only play video games on the weekends. We don't watch movies unless it's a family movie night. Like, those kinds of things. You can just make a very basic schedule, and it's best to limit it to, like, if you do a Monday through Friday school days kind of thing, it lets your kids know where your emphasis is, that you care about education and those kinds of things. Make sure you get all of your work done, and that the weekends are for fun and for leisure. And if you can create that distance in time, that's very important.
I don't want to steal one of yours if this is going to come up later, but would not watching media or being on screens during dinner during the week would that be included in this?
Yeah, actually that kind of goes into our second one. So that can be a scheduling thing, or the second thing that I would say is create screen-free zones. Okay. And the dinner table should absolutely be one of them. The dinner table is a screen-free place, and that's, a very important thing that, like, if you can see your TV from your dinner table, please make sure that it's off. Even during the Lions, which I understand is difficult for everybody, but just turn it off.
Disagree immensely. Just, schedule the meals around it. Eat at halftime. That's what we do.
That is true. Which kind of leads to a second, but bedrooms. Bedrooms are screen-free locations, always. Just for good parenting, no screens in the bedrooms. And that's your bedroom, your kid's bedroom, all of it. Cell phones turned in downstairs at the end of the night. And, this might be a situation where you have to buy an actual alarm clock. It's worth the investment to do that. So just create screen-free zones. But what you're talking about when we're saying watching things together, we want to encourage co-viewing. So use the big TV. I cannot give this advice enough and in enough locations. Your big TV is so much more important than your kids' little single-serving TV watching. If they're looking at it on a phone or an iPad, you're creating distance between you and your kids. But if you're creating co-watching on the big TV, you're all watching the movie together. It's not mindless spacing out. It's family building time.
Agree. I will also say, and this is not, these are all just our suggestions, so you don't have to follow them, but we highly recommend it.
You will be a bad parent if you don't follow these.
Jody and I, we have never once in the history of our marriage and children aged 9 through 4, we have never watched something that we do not want our kids watching on the big screen while they're awake.
Yeah.
Ever. There's some people who can just do that and their kids are downstairs. It's but they can still hear things. We never watch our shows on the big TV while the kids are awake. And that's just been a really healthy, positive thing. And even when they are going to sleep and sometimes they come out to go to the bathroom, we're very careful that if we're watching like a zombie show or something, that we listen and we pause it so that they're not seeing someone get their head ripped off in the middle of trying to sleep.
Yeah, and that's actually the main reason for the big TV thing, is because if you wouldn't want your kid to see you watching it, and vice versa, if your kid wouldn't feel comfortable with their parent knowing that they're watching this, then it's something that they probably shouldn't be watching. Yep. I mean, now parents, obviously you can do this at a different time of day because there is media that's appropriate for adults that's not appropriate for kids. But it's a good understanding that if mom doesn't watch YouTube on her phone for anything other than how to fix the dryer, then you shouldn't either. You put it on the big TV where everybody can see it and you can be accountable for what you're watching.
Love it. Number 4.
Going from that, I am going to go against my pediatrician here.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, Dr. Boyce, I love you very much. He doesn't know about this podcast, I don't think. I'm going to go in next time. He's going to be like, oh, what's your podcast? I saw you talking about me. Sorry, Dr. Boyce. Not all screen time is created equal. So that's the rule. Not all screen time is created equal. So if it is family bonding time, if you are watching a movie together, you don't count that in your kids' screen time. If you are playing Ticket to Ride online because it's a whole lot easier to play the digital version than it is to have to clean up all the stupid train pieces, that doesn't count. If you are playing, even if you're playing Fortnite with your kid, because you're using this as a means of bonding with your kid, if you are playing with your kid or if you are interacting with your family while on a screen, it doesn't count as screen time. That's my hot take. You disagree with me?
I can't disagree with you because I don't do those things yet. So I refuse to disagree for now.
All right. But you reserve the right to disagree later.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. And the last one is the very most important one of all of the how to manage screen time effectively is practice what you preach. If you are looking at your phone and staring at it in the kitchen, your kid is going to think that it's appropriate to stare at their phone in the kitchen. So just you need to be setting good examples, set your own limits on your cell phone, make sure that you limit how much time you give yourself on your social media, because it's a good thing for your kids to see your mom, you've been on Instagram for an hour today. Your screen time shut you off. It's good for your kids to see that. It tells them mom has to self-regulate and so do you. And sometimes we all need help with that.
Yep, agree. I think everyone needs to work on it, even if they're the best at it. I'm very like I have a guilt complex sometimes. So like if I ever hear my daughter say my name twice, but I can't hear her because I'm on my phone. The phone's in the room rest of the night, like not happening. So I often will, when I'm not working, just put my phone away in the room, like you're saying, not be on it. I try to never be on it during dinner. If we're going to say dinner table is a screen-free zone, then parents shouldn't be on it either. So you're right. Lead by example is the way to go.
Yeah. Last night we were at dinner after my kids had their big Christmas concert for their school, and we were out to dinner, and our producer Cal was texting me with our graphic designer, and they were like, hey, what's going on with the things and blah, blah, blah. And my daughter looked at me and she's like, Mom, we're having dinner. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I took my phone, I put it in my husband's pocket and zipped it. Like I keep it away from me, because even if it's work, even if it's something that puts food on your table, your kids need to see that you are willing to limit, and that if you need help, you're going to ask somebody for help.
Yep. Also, let me just real quick look at the camera and say, restaurants, COVID's over. Knock it off. Enough of the QR codes on the table. Who cares about the paper that you're saving? Real menus, please. I hate when the whole family goes, sits down at a table, you pull your phone out, and the parents have to be on their phones if they want to see what's on the menu. At least have the option to have a physical menu so that we can just stop being on our phones when we're at restaurants.
I was going to say this has been grouchy moments with John Blevins, but then you brought it out to you're forcing me to pull my phone out in front of my kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we just sat down and the first thing I'm doing is I'm on my phone looking and seeing what they can have, what I can have, etc.
I get it.
Come on, laminate it, reuse the menus, sanitize it if you feel like you have to, but help us parents out. That's a clip. You're welcome. Clip it and ship it.
Yeah. And people who are going to these restaurants, stop licking the menus so people stop freaking out.
Yeah, it's weird.
Nobody likes that. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's just some new parenting stuff for 2025. We're trying to get you some good hacks out there. Where would they be able to find all of our content if they like this?
Go to isthisforkids.com. In particular, you can check out our Instagram and let us know what you want us to be talking about on this podcast. We love getting ideas from you.
Absolutely. There is just so much out there for us to learn as parents.
I'm Jonathan Beard of Blevins.
I'm Katie, MrsRuvi. Let us help you figure it out.
Is this for kids?